Hello everyone, this is CMeeCraft here, and welcome back to Adventure of a Lifetime. We recently did a first look at this game, and I figured, hey, why not do a full Let's Play? So, here we are. I believe when we left off we were looking for Emily, right? And we're with Chisa at the moment, I think. Yeah, definitely she's talking right now. Anyways, so let's get started then. It doesn't look like she's here. Yeah. We'd come back to the beach to search after taking the groceries home, but there was no sign of Emily. She's a blonde girl with blue eyes and a sailor uniform, right? Anything else we should look out for? Well, she was really pretty, too. That was the most distinguishing feature I could remember, but Chisa was not impressed. I see. So, she was a cutie, huh? Actually, I said pretty. What's the difference? I was sure that some difference existed. Emily was almost doll-like in her beauty, and she was put together very well, so to speak. I see. What? Oh, nothing. Just didn't know you'd become that kind of guy, that's all. Chisa put her hoodie back on and pulled her zipper up to her neck. I guess that my wandering gaze didn't feel as innocent as before. Then off she went. Chisa, where are you going? I just thought it wasn't so busy over this way. Could be a good place to look, you know. Oh. I thought you were leaving because you were mad at me. What do I have to be mad about? Chisa was obviously upset, but she had made a promise to search for Emily. If someone asked for her help, she never could say no, and it was nice to see that some things were still the same. Oh, nice little transition there. Here's to our reunion with Hiro. Cheers. Everyone brought their glasses together. Welcome back, Hiroki. Welcome back. Wow, guys, you really didn't have to. Aw, don't be so modest. Come on, drink up. Ryoto poured more juice into my glass. Grandma's cafe was open now, but about half the seats were reserved for my welcome back party. Some kids from the neighborhood and a few adults I recognized had gathered to celebrate. I was sure everyone just wanted a reason to get together and make a little noise. A few of them had already split off from the group to hit the bottle. Shh, what a noisy bunch. If you stop bothering my real customers, you're out of here. Come on, Miss Machiko, relax a little. I still can't believe you're back. How many years has it been now? 4. I still recall the last time I saw Hiro. I was 6. This little girl's name was Chinami. She sat up straight in her chair, her legs dangling over the edge, slowly sipping at her drink. Wow, I can't believe you remembered that. You were just a little kid back then. Dear sister, we just weren't cut from the same cloth. Hey, that's not something a dear sister would say. Chinami was Chisa's younger sister. She was a little, well, different. You've really grown, Chinami. Well, what grade are you in now? Currently the 4th grade. She's still pretty small, though. Aren't you the shortest one in your class? Well, that was completely unnecessary. Anyway, I'm sure I'll hit my growth spurt eventually. You gotta get out more, Chinami. Sitting in the house on the net all day is no good for a grown girl. Chinami gave an exhausted sigh. And those concepts are somehow related? Besides, I'm growing just fine. I just have no desire to be all brawn and no brain. You sure don't speak like other kids your age. Only 'cause she's always reading stuff on the web. Chami had a good sense of humor, but Sometimes I worried about how she'd get on later in life. Hiro, you gotta get in on this shimazushi. Shimazushi? Ryoto pushed a plate of sushi towards me. Ooh, sushi. Shimazushi, a local dish in the Ensue and Ogasawara Islands. It is a type of sushi made for warm places that uses preserved fish. It is usually prepared with karashi, mustard, and chili instead of wasabi. Shimazushi was a specialty dish here in Ogasawara. Slices of local fish are marinated, then put on sushi rice. Unlike regular sushi, it's eaten with mustard paste instead of wasabi. Apparently it was originally brought here from Hachijojima in the Ensue Islands. The taste brings back memories. Right? No one makes shimazushi like my mom. Ryoto's family ran a fishery, so when it came to seafood, he was an expert. A few other people also brought their favorite home-cooked Ogasawaran dishes. Hey, you can't bring your own food in here. If you want a picnic, have it on the beach. There's plenty more where that came from. Mom went all out when she heard you were back. So you're just gonna ignore a poor old woman. By the way, Ryoto, any news about that runaway girl you were looking for? Chisa and I had searched all afternoon, but she was nowhere to be found. Nope, not a clue. Who knows where she is by now? He answered nonchalantly, sipping his oolong tea. Isn't that, a bad sign? Yeah, probably. What's this about a, familiar truance? The girl who came in on today's ferry. No one knows why she's here, but the word is she's running away. The blonde in the sailor uniform, right? Chinami, you seen anyone like that? Blonde hair and sailor uniform. Chinami's brows furrowed in concentration, as if she were trying to recall something. Forget it. You won't be much help anyway. You hardly ever set foot outside the house. I bet you'd still be in your room right now if Hiroki wasn't here. Silence, dear sister. I'm traversing my mind palace now. You're such a brat. Meanwhile, I was slowly starting to panic. Why? If something happened to Emily, it would be my fault for assisting in her escape. Fair enough. To be honest, I would have left the party there and then if it were possible. Hey, Hiro? Chinami tugged on my sleeve. What's up, Chinami? This blonde sailor uniform wearing truance wouldn't happen to look like that person over there, would she? Chinami pointed shyly to the road by the cafe. Though she could be a bit pretentious around her sister, Chinami was pretty timid. This road could only take you to Umura Beach. The only reason to use it would be to travel between the beach and the cafe. In the shadow of the roadside trees, a figure was looking this way. Huh? Hey! Oh. The moment our eyes met, Emily vanished behind a tree. You're looking for someone like that, correct? Not someone like that. That is her. Great job, Chinami. I gave her a gentle pat on the head. Ooh, I did good. But what was Emily doing over there? There was only one way to figure that out, so I walked over to where she was hiding. Hey, she's here, the blonde in the sailor uniform. Wait, no. Hey, she's here! The blonde in the sailor uniform. That's better. What? Where? Oh no. Startled by Ryota's voice, Emily turned and ran. Oh, wait, Emily! I dashed out of the cafe and tried to catch up. Emily! I called out for her, but there was no reply. I chased after her from the cafe, but I'd already lost sight of her. The others had joined me in the search, but were unable to find her. You find her? No. Me neither. Chisa and Ryota had searched in a different area. This is all your fault. Ryota, anyone would be freaked out at someone carrying on like you did. My bad. I got excited. Ryota hung his head in shame, but even then, he was still taller than the rest of us. What I'd really like to know is why she was outside the cafe in the first place. She was probably hungry. Yeah, but why Machiko's cafe? She could have gone to a place back in town. She's on the run, remember? She'd want to avoid anywhere that's too busy. I may have invited her earlier. When we split, I told her about the cafe. She probably doesn't know the island well, so maybe she came to check it out. Chisa's expression looked grim. So her name's Emily, huh? Yeah, Emily Shirase. You two seem awfully close considering you only met one time. What do you mean? It's nothing. I'm going to take a look over there. Well, I'll head over toward the mountains. Left alone, I headed toward Futamai Port. Near silence dominated the empty port. Without people, only the gentle sounds of the waves echoing into the night remained. Where could she have gone? According to Ryota, Emily boarded the ferry right after leaving her school, so that explained her uniform and school bag. But was she really a runaway? There must be another reason for her to come to this island. Then I remembered what she said on the ferry. There's something I need to get back. Something precious that sank into the ocean years ago. Something that sank into the ocean. Was it a real object, or had she been speaking metaphorically? She also said she hated the ocean, but that didn't help. I was getting a bad feeling at the whole situation as I searched around the empty ports alone. If Emily was truly looking to hide away from everyone, this would be the perfect spot. It was dark and completely deserted. Then again, if she fell in... Even with the light from the town and moon, the ocean was very dark at night, like the mouth of a deep cave that swallows all night. One careless step and you could fall in, with no way to climb back out. At this hour, there'd be no one passing by to help either. I could only imagine the worst-case scenario during my search. Huh? Looks like there's someone by the lighthouse. Oh, a lighthouse. Known as the Blue Lighthouse, even though the beacon light used is green, in olden days, Japanese people called the color green blue, hence the lighthouse's name. The lighthouse on the opposite shore is called the Red Lighthouse, with its name not based on the light used, but on the lighthouse's color itself. There's a little lighthouse over by one end of the promenade, and right at its base, a shadowy figure could be seen. The fisherman? I was too far away to know for sure, but from their posture it didn't look like it. Emily? I called out her name and ran toward the lighthouse as fast as I could. I had a really bad feeling about this. The shadow looked as if it was about to jump into the water. Emily! The shadow turned around to face me. Don't do it! Huh? What? Who said that? I focused on running as fast as I could to save her. Startled, Emily took a step back, and as luck would have it, a particularly strong wind came through the ports. Ah! Emily lost her footing. Emily! Her hands came out, reaching for me as I ran toward her as fast as I could. But I was too late. Ah! Yeah, well, that's not ideal. Emily. Our hands clasped together. Emily and I tumbled into the sea. Yeah. And as she sank deeper, I tried to gather her into my arms, but... Stop flailing around, Emily. Emily thrashed in the pitch-black waters as I tried in vain to get things under control. I was trying so desperately to hold on to her that I couldn't make my way to the surface. Which way is up? I could feel both of us sinking. But I'd lost any sense of direction beyond that. With just a little light, I would have been able to follow the air bubbles to the surface, but I couldn't see anything. Are we going to die down here? Emily eventually stopped squirming around, but she hadn't calmed down. She just didn't have the energy to resist anymore. Emily? I squeezed her in my arms, trying to tell her not to give up hope. I was certain that she couldn't see my face, and knew for a fact that I couldn't hear her, but I could have sworn she called out my name. This time, when she started moving again, she moved her body closer to mine. All we could do now was sink deeper and deeper. Oh. Darn. But at least we weren't alone, and we could feel a little human warmth right at the end. Sorry I couldn't save you, Emily. It's okay. I'm just grateful that you tried. I could hear her voice clearly now. A final gift to enjoy at death's door. Hey, you alright? And now from somewhere above I was gifted Chisa's voice too. Wait. Why Jesus' voice? Oh, good. You're still alive. Huh? At some point, Emily and I had floated to the surface. Oh. Papa, Mama, I'm sorry. Emily? I know I've been selfish, but I love you both. Her eyes were shut tight as she whispered a final farewell to her parents. Hey, Emily. Hug. What is it? Can't you let a girl die in peace? But you're not dying. We're alive. Both of us. Huh? Emily opened her eyes and seemed to understand that she'd been saved, but didn't quite understand where she was. We're alive? Yeah. This isn't heaven? Nope, pretty sure it's not hell either. What's this squishy thing? Emily's hand pressed into what we were floating on. I'll give you a hint. It's got a dorsal fin. A fin? Between Emily and me, a triangular fin thrust out above the waves. A shark! She grabbed onto me again. It's a dolphin. It's a dolphin. Sure enough, my old friend Finn had come to our rescue. Chill out, you're gonna knock us off. No, I don't want to get eaten. Get away from me. I just told you that he's a dolphin. Anyway, how long are you two gonna hold on to each other like that? Yeah, I'm not the one. Ah, no! Help! Ah, help! Ah! Look, you've got the wrong idea. Can't a girl just enjoy the view? Why would I want to jump in? Yeah, you have a point. Ryota had arrived to help us out of the water. From there, we all headed back to the cafe together. Emma and I were completely soaked, but with the warm tropical winds, we didn't have to worry about catching our death. Aside from a towel, the only thing Emily really wanted was a good meal. She has quite the appetite. She was probably really hungry. The Ogasawara sisters watched in amazement as Emily devoured dish after dish of my grandma's cooking. Would you mind if I had seconds? Grandma, you got any more? With a sour look on her face, Grandma reluctantly brought out more soup and bread. Well, it's good to know you weren't planning to jump. Did you really run away from home? I'm not some rebel without a cause. I had a reason to leave. And that is? Emily set down her spoon and looked at Chisa seriously. Treasure hunting. She returned to her soup as if those two words explained everything. What does that mean? Treasure hunting, an activity that entails searching for hidden objects by following a trail of clues. Yeah, I know that. You really think there's some treasure in Ogasawara? Like one of those chests full of gold coins? Everyone had a clueless expression, myself included. But that didn't shake Emily's resolve one bit. It's right. It's right there at the bottom of the sea. Problem is I don't know how to get it out. That's why I was staring off into the water. Well, isn't this just fascinating? What kind of treasure is it? Well? It's a secret. Come on, girl. You owe us an explanation. Keeping it secret is actually very wise. It prevents any infighting among fellow hunters. It seemed as if everyone's concern for Emily's well-being had unknowingly moved to the treasure's well-being. And it was only growing more intense. You guys know the ocean is huge, right? Plus, there are divers everywhere. If some treasure existed, they'd have found it by now. Do you know where in Ogasawara this treasure is supposed to be? Emily's brows furrowed in concentration. There's a ship, the Shiranami Maru. It sank somewhere in Ogasawara. All members present except for Emily locked eyes when she mentioned the ship's name. You don't think she means... the ghost ship? Ghost ship? Emily stared at Ryota blankly. That's what we call one of the shipwrecks around here. Shipwrecks were essentially the old sunken ships found on the ocean floor. Wow. I don't think that's a term that generally needs to be defined. I think people know what shipwrecks are, game. Most of the shipwrecks surrounding the Ogasawara Islands were battleships or freighters hit during the war. Hinko Maru. A cargo ship built in 1936, damaged and abandoned after a 1944 air raid. Its emergent wreckage has become a popular tourist attraction. It is slowly being worn away by storms and sea currents. Hinko Maru, a freighter, requisitioned by the Navy during World War II, was the most well-known shipwreck. It was eventually sunk in an air raid, but now it was one of the most popular tourist attractions on the island. Where is it? You have to tell me. Chisa was a little taken aback by Emily's enthusiasm, but told her all the same. Although people call it a ghost ship, there aren't really any ghosts. It was just a shipwreck that was lost during one of the big storms. Shiranami Maru Part 1? An imaginary cruise ship that sank in the Ogasawara seas 16 years ago in an area with war and cargo shipwrecks. Strong currents move around, so locals call it the ghost ship. Oh, move it around even. Lost in a big storm, the ghost ship. Anyway, that ship has been missing for years. Who knows where it is now? Oh man, it had to be the Shiranami Maru. I had always thought it was just an urban legend. I still knew nothing about Emily, but I admired her determination to come to this island alone. But I didn't think she'd find anything. She was trying to hunt down a ghost ship, for crying out loud. I won't give up. I will find this ghost ship, and I won't go home until I do. Chisa looked at her coldly. It'll be a while until the next ferry gets here. Do what you like until then. Ryota. Yeah, I guess there's nothing you can really do till then. Ferries to Ogasawara from the mainland only came once a week, but during the tourist season, there'd be one every 3 days. That meant we had to wait 3 days before we could send Emily home. You got a place to stay? My dad said we can put you up. That's kind of you, but no, thank you. I didn't make arrangements, but I don't want to impose. I'm sure my dad asked for someone to keep an eye on me, but I really shouldn't. Did you really come all the way out here without booking a hotel? Yeah, but I figured a resort town like this should have plenty of options. It's not that simple. We're in the middle of the tourist season right now. All the hotels were booked months in advance. Oh, Is that how it works? It would seem she lacks even the basic expedition knowledge. Came the quiet observation from the youngest among us. But unpreparedness was to be expected from a girl who had just run away from home. Fine. I'll see if I can pull some strings. What kind of budget you got? Emily went suspiciously quiet. I lost my bag and all my belongings during that tumble into the sea earlier. As Emily spoke, my eyes flickered over to my grandma. That meant she wouldn't be getting paid for this meal. I guess that includes your ticket home. Things looked bleak. And for the most part, it was my fault. I'll handle her hotel expenses. Can you just find her a place to stay? I guess that's about all we can do. If that's the case, she may as well stay here. Grandma had finally stopped glaring and joined the conversation. Huh? Something wrong with your ears, Missy? I said you can stay here, alright? Really, Grandma? Emily sprang up and took Grandma's hand. Hold on a minute, Miss Michiko. What about Hiroki? I got no sympathy for a grandson who imposes himself on others with no invitation. He can sleep under the stairs for all I care. Wow, Grandma. Nice to know you care. Why would it be a problem for Hiro to stay too? To Tsunami, it seemed a simple enough question, but no one was ready to have that conversation yet, so we ignored her. Life is an adventure. That's what my sweetheart used to say. He was a pretty famous surfer around these parts. Grandma closed her eyes, smiling as she remembered the days when Grandpa was still around. Little Missy, you said you were looking to salvage treasure from this ghost ship, right? Yes. Life's no fun without a little adventure. I say go for it. Thank you, Grandma. As for tonight's bill, just settle up when you can. Without another word, Grandma disappeared into the back of the cafe. I will! Emily was jumping for joy. Judging from the expressions, Ryota and Chisa weren't as thrilled, though. You think it'll be okay, Ryota? I wasn't sure how close Ryota's dad and Emily's dad were, but would they be okay with Emily staying at my grandma's place? Dad knows better than to mess with Michiko. Long as we know where she is, it should be fine. Besides, all this ghost ship stuff could be fun. Now hold on, this is a disaster, right, Hiroki? Uh-huh. Well... Oh, what have we here? A choice! Not a good idea. I think it's fine. Harmless fun, right? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Don't worry, it'll be fine. I'm sure diving and stuff is part of normal tourist activities anyways. What? Emily's already agreed to it anyway. I just have to work something out for myself, and that would be that. Dear sister, why such a dour face? In the end, it was decided that Emily would stay with Grandma until the next ferry arrived. I knew that what Grandpa would have said if he'd been here. Life is an adventure. Be free and live with no regrets. This coming from a ladies' man who incurred Grandma's wrath on more than one occasion. Emily, I'm the one that got you into this mess, so if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. Thank you, Hiro. Did she just call him Hiro? And on this night, above the peaceful Ogasawara waters, the scent of danger and of adventure was not far off. Ooh, that transition again.